All right, Jordan.
Good evening, good afternoon, whatever the good may serve you when you're listening to this podcast, which is episode 34 of the Friendlyjordies podcast. Very nervous as I have never announced the beginning of this particular audio bite-sized piece that you're listening to at the moment. And as a result, my heart is racing a lot. Hello, everybody. Jordan here. I cannot believe this. This is a lot like when I was in year 6 and I was in The Wizard of Oz and then going on stage and I was the lion and I couldn't find my lion hat going, where is it? Where is it? Backstage, I'm just completely lost. A chook without a head, as it is. Everybody else is here in the studio as well. Sorry, I should actually introduce people. That's the whole point of the introduction point.
Fumbling.
Lord. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, Jordan.
I could have just padded for an hour. Tom's in the studio. Say hello, everybody, to Tom.
Hi.
Yep, Tom should be saying hi as well. And, of course...
And I'm here. Robbie here. How you going, guys?
He's back, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks to Yaya for being in.
Yeah, thanks,
Last
Yaya.
time.
Well, yeah, I think you did a great job, Yaya.
Really enjoyed your services. However, they're no longer needed.
So Robbie is back by popular demand. Congratulations, Robbie. How does it feel to have a job?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's good to be rehired. I'm happy to be here. So
Great stuff. However, you are no longer a golden dragon, as we found out from the last podcast. If you listen to the very end of that, you will notice that we asked him to go out into Studio A and ask a fat, balding man who was on air out for a coffee. Not a romantic coffee, a platonic coffee.
Yeah.
For those of you, even do that.
For everyone that doesn't know, we record this podcast at FBI, so thank you, FBI. For letting us use your studio. It's really nice.
I just have to say, I did, in fact, speak to him, and I did actually. He said yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of that.
Well, yeah, let's prove it, mate.
Well,
You can't.
you saw his expression. You saw his...
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, okay. All right, well...
Got to be honest, we weren't paying a lot of attention to it. We were just talking to Yaya.
So anyway, you are a night watchman until you can re-earn your golden dragon status.
Watching over the buttons, pressing them as they come. It is a
Watching the
humble existence, to say the least. I'm sure you see a lot of magical creatures and no one believes you really because you're just nothing but a night watchman. You're not a golden dragon.
Just,
that's
very
enough of that
solo.
chat.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah,
That's
so...
fine. That probably you would like that to be enough of the chat. However, the first segment is called Watchman or Golden Dragon.
So, Robbie, as you love to watch the night, tell me, what kind of moon is it this evening?
We need to see if you're good at your job or not.
A blood moon.
It's not correct at all.
That was such a... Why did you guess that? How many blood moons are there?
You could have just said a full moon, or just like this week especially. It's been very well known that red eclipse has been happening over the last few days.
That's what I said, yeah, the blood moon.
Yeah, okay, that's
days
fine.
ago.
But what are the chances that there's going to be 2 blood moons in the same week?
They happen decades apart. This was a few days ago. Everyone knows it was days ago. Anyway. No, Robbie, you're wrong.
Okay.
So
By
what?
literally light years, probably.
So, Robbie,
As a result, because you are a night watchman and you clearly haven't been watching the night, you're too sleepy. We demand that you drink a litre of Mother
not a
Energy
litre.
drink. I'm
No.
sorry, but it was
2
on special,
mothers.
and the Egyptians that sold us to us were really nice. We couldn't say yes to one. We had to take the deal.
I can't do this.
You need to wake up.
No.
How are you meant to
have
watch the
to
night?
do it.
Who will
Look, you
watch
don't
the Watchmen, Robbie?
Exactly. A night watchman doesn't have a choice in this. They have a sacred duty over the town that they watch. And you've just bloody jumped it, haven't you?
It's 11:40 p.m. by the way.
You
to
think
those listening.
you think the moon is blood moon right now? You're clearly
I'm
not
in an
awake enough.
enclosed studio. I don't know what it's like,
Just open up the mother. All right. So you need to drink it throughout the course of the episode. All right. It's just a liter.
All right.
And after this, what a great time to announce this, but the 34th episode of the Friendlyjordies podcast is called the Robbie Edition, as we feel really bad for making him do things he doesn't want to do all the time. Case in point, him drinking a dangerous amount of energy drink. On the can it says, please, for the love of God, especially if you're pregnant, just have half of this. That's enough.
Why didn't you open that with your teeth just then?
Yeah.
Well, who opens those cans with their teeth?
I don't have nails, so I have to.
Jesus, that was...
Then you reckon it's way easier?
No, it's.
Yes, your front teeth there.
I guess so.
Just bite it open.
All right, well.
It's very coal miner. I really don't want to see his British Cockney smiling
I also
when he's
get
50.
So, Robbie,
I get heart palpitations as well. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, well, drink it down.
It's not a good idea, but again, you have a sacred duty, Robbie. You don't get to coast by with the Golden Dragon status anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure that you cannot pick up chicks while you're a night watchman. There might be a chance in the future to become a Golden Dragon. We don't know. Frankly, we don't want to know. Just watch the night.
That's a good segue to Make a Man Blush.
Yeah, so Robbie gets to choose all the segments tonight because he is just... we're glad to have him back. And, yeah, so, Robbie, this is your episode. Make the most of it. You get to choose all the segments.
Apart from the first one, you don't get to rescind that. It's already happened.
Yeah, so all the rest of the segments, up to you, Robbie.
So this is my segment called Make a Man Blush, ? Make a Man Blush. So this is, I basically... I'm going to tell you all a story in my past when I blushed, and then I'm going to hear a story from you guys, if you have them, about your blushing experiences. I'm going to see if I blush as well.
Jesus.
We are off to a right start.
No, okay, so
What
hear me
a
out.
long pod this is going to be.
No, it's not. It's not. Look, this is
Like,
really...
we're going to be as positive as we can with you, Robbie, for as long as we can.
And that is as positive as I can be. It's going to be a long pod.
Please, look, listen up. This is actually it's going to be peppy pod. Get excited, people. This is going to be very
Make
good.
a man blush. Let's hear it. What's your story, Robbie?
A story. All right. When I was in high school, for some reason, I had a pie, a cooked pie in a plastic bag. My friend convinced me to swing it around my head near this amphitheater, which is filled with all these cool kids playing handball, right? I did it for some reason. The bag ripped a little bit, and some bits of pie fell on the two, quite large guys in the cool group, and they were all flustered and like, well, what's this pie doing on my shirt now? And so they came up very angry, and they basically ruffled me up and pushed me in the stairs. And I would say I was probably, I suppose the term is beaten up, but
Or blushing.
And as I was being pushed about, I managed to sneak a little blush in there. No,
I don't think that happened.
no, no, it did. I promise.
I just made a story
Do
up.
not think that you were embarrassed while getting beaten.
No, I wasn't embarrassed. I blushed with there was just such a flurry of emotions.
Right. Yeah, this is
Blushed
the problem.
with violence.
No, and then get this. So
I really think you should look this word up in a dictionary.
as I was going back up to maths class, there was this big congregation of students going up the stairs towards the lockers, right? One of the guys goes, "Oi, mate, how's this?" And half a tomato smushes it in my hair.
You're definitely blushing then, weren't you?
And I've never blushed so hard in all my life, I swear to Christ.
Maybe it was the tomato juice. Maybe it was the blood rushing to my cheeks. Either way, I was blushing.
I really was. And then I had to, spend the next 20 minutes in the bathroom trying to clean up, eating into my maths time. I then eventually go to maths, and the boy who's tomato, the boy who smushed it in my hair was there in the class, and I had to sort of just make up why I was late.
The teacher was
again.
Like, what's up, Robbie? Why are you late? And he's looking at you like, don't you say a word?
Pretty much. It was a hat trick blush. It was a hat trick of blushing.
3
that day.
blushes in an hour.
Stairs, beat up, blush. Tomato in hair, blush. Arriving late, blush.
Wow. It's almost as if you could start your own cosmetic range. Just
all-
called
yeah.
Robbie de Blush.
It's almost as though you don't know what the word blush means, Robbie. That's what it almost is. Thanks for the
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is your problem, Robbie. You make up these segments. It's just the name to start with. You just say, "Make a man blush." That's the name of this segment, and then you don't think any
There's no
past
structure
that.
to it, really.
You just think that's a good phrase, and then that's as far as you think.
100% ideas, man.
Yeah.
No, well,
Just not a born architect, really.
look, let's...
Great for coming up with billboard slogans, not great for building buildings.
Like, it's such a vague term. Like, blush could mean embarrassed. Like, in your case, it means nothing. I don't know what that means. What, you were upset? Or what? Like, were you embarrassed that he beat
I suppose
you up?
there were levels of embarrassment, cowardice.
Cowardice, yeah. Well, that
there
fits
was,
you.
No. No, there was.
You're always blushing. A cowardly blush.
No, look, there's a lot of embarrassment, I suppose.
Robbie's autobiography. Robbie, oops.
A life of blush.
Each autobiography coming with a free essence to blush from Robbie.
All right, Jordan, tell me a time when you blushed, my friend. Let's hear your blushing.
All right, I really didn't want to say this, and I was hoping that we just go straight to Tom.
You know what? Let's just go straight on, I think.
Right, okay, all right, fine.
All right.
I'm really... I did have a good story, but that's great.
Yeah, I'm happy to go on.
Tom, I'm going to in fact veto that. And we're now going to hear Jordan's story about his blushing. So,
All right. Go on.
When we were trying out our Year 12 drama piece, there was a point where we had to get together with our heads on our bums in a centipede-like fashion, and it clicked in my head, holy crap, I'm at the head of this. Human Centipede, the movie, had just come out, and I felt one brewing.
Maybe I should do his shit. Fucking hell. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I did the shit light, as it's called in polite circles, aka just a rusty, right? Straight. There was this girl that was on my butt at the time, and I just yelled out, "Human centipede!"
Oh my
and
god!
farted straight into her nose, right? Like her nostril was as close as you can get to a human's anus as possible. Pretty much, it was just a thin 2 pieces of material between them, and so she just caught the full whiff of it, and then there was just this moment of, you just heard this, "Oh my god!" and everyone just went quiet, and then at the very end, someone just went, "What did you just do?" That's the end. That was the end. I couldn't even describe.
You've blocked out the rest of it. I don't know any more of that story. I can't remember it.
That was it. Yeah. I just remember blushing.
Yeah, the blush took over.
That's really what happens.
goodness.
It's kind of just a red... Yeah, when you have a real night on the town, and then there's that French jazz music that starts and goes, "I don't remember the rest of that night. All I know is it must have been wild. What a night in Paris." That's what happens, except for instead of that, it's just fully red.
Yeah.
And replace French jazz music with the sound of the kettle going...
Good lord. Well, that was a good blushing.
That's a good blush
blushing
right
tale there.
Did it make you blush, Robbie?
I've got a little bit of a hue going on.
Yeah, a little reddish hue.
Yeah, I do. Now,
Yeah.
Tom.
Can you top it, Tom?
I don't think I
you
can
top
top it.
the
It's a
human rustipede?
Well, one time I can think of blushing was in the Year 6 talent quest in front of the whole school.
This is the one you ran by us previously, and we didn't give you the A.
No. That was me
Okay.
kissing myself. I didn't.
Right.
So this was so I was doing at the talent quest. We didn't really have an idea, but we just thought it'd be funny to like kind of just get up there, like the group of boys, and just like dance around to a song. And I had this electronic keyboard which had all these kind of preset songs on it.
Great. Love it.
And there was Stevie Wonder's Superstition was one of the preset songs, so you just press the button and it'll just play it out. And
The story that keeps on giving.
but the idea was that I would be there and I'd be pretending to play Stevie Wonder's Superstition in front of the whole school, while my friend Willem had one of those things with the 2 sticks and the strings on it, where like you can dangle that like kind of like half ball thing and throw it up in the air, and like anyway, it was just a shambles. But I got up there and I pressed play.
So unentertaining. A Casio keyboard that plays Stevie Wonder tracks.
Yeah.
And somebody who can't really do a circus trick.
But the thing was that most of the acts were girl groups, because they all like to dance, and they did have one specific like all boy group prize, which we were going for because there was only 2 boy groups in it, and the other group was this group of boys that would just chased each other around on the stage for the entire thing. So we thought we had like a really good chance.
You lost to that?
Well, no.
Sorry, continue the story. I'm sorry to destroy the sizzle, but that is... I hope that this is going that way.
So we start the act, and I press play on the Stevie Wonder Superstition thing, and we're in like a large hall with like there's about like 300, 400 people in the hall, and and I forget, of course, like my tiny keyboard speakers are only loud enough to maybe get across to like the person in the wing, like, but not to the front row of children. So you can't hear anything. So, like, this girl had to come out and stand next to me with the microphone over the speakers to try and get it to play. And then the principal was standing in the wings, and I just remember hearing him on the side, looking over, like, and asking someone, going, like, is he even playing that?
Now,
like that would have been the only redeeming part of the act, is if I was playing the keyboard and I was just pretending. And then, like at the awards ceremony, they go. So there was like the two boy groups, and it was between us or them. And they go, the winner is. And they gave it to this group that had two boys and a girl in it, because our two groups were so bad they couldn't give either of us the prize. So then the girl that was in the winner of the best boy group, who is a lesbian now, and she was a massive tomboy at the time, she burst into tears and just like ran off.
Mate, that is...
And I was blushing hard.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That was really good.
Oh, thanks, Robbie.
Good Lord. That's incredible. So you were standing there in your nice little tubby form there.
Yeah, I was really fat back then as
Post a couple bacon rolls for brekkie there.
Yeah. Oh,
lashing some sauce.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. All right. So next segment, Robbie, what's your next segment?
All right. Next segment is retrospective weather guess. So earlier in the week, I went somewhere and I recorded myself at a particular place, and you have to guess from the audio what the weather is at that time. And I have a photo to prove what.
Okay. So it's secret sound, but you've narrowed down it from virtually anything to just a few possible things that it could be.
There better be a clue as well as to what the weather could be like.
Well, you can
there
hear
better
it.
be wind or something.
All right, so you'll hear it in the clip here.
All right, let's hear it.
Do you want me to keep the music going?
Sure, mate. Whatever you want. Come on, let's hear it.
All right.
All right, cancel the music.
Okay.
All right, I think we've
So you got bored recording this, and so you started eating chips. Okay, well this sounds very delicious, but it's really hard to tell the weather between you munching on chips.
I heard some birds. Is it sunny?
It was clear. It was clear.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
That's the end of it.
Very good.
Yeah,
there we go.
awesome.
Is there any prize or punishment to the end of this segment? No, we just get to hear the end of this Crowded House original.
This is a flute cover instrumental of Weather With You by Crowded House. Take it away.
Take it away. Robbie, how's your mother going?
Congratulations to Tom.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
He's guessed correctly. That was retrospective weather guessing. The mother's going strong here, thanks.
Oh, fantastic, Tom. You got a verbal trophy.
Yay.
And do you know what we've got now, guys? We've got a little bit of a spicy Rome segment now, I think, for the fans out there of that.
Yeah, nice choice, Robbie, finally.
Jordan, do you have something in mind for that? Or?
As a matter of fact, Robbie, I do.
Oh, awesome.
And if I may cast your mind back, if you're old enough to remember.
Hit the music.
Yeah, I know.
79 AD. A dying Vespasian has one last wish for his heir. Where else could we be but Rome? Total war.
Yes!
We got it in time! Perfect. Could you ask for a greater segue than the sound of what you would imagine is an attractive woman, but it could be a lot like when you ring up a sex line and it is just a fat hag on the other side? We don't know. But it sounds great. What we've got here is probably the greatest story the Colosseum has ever produced. And we're talking 800 years of tradition here. And out of all of that, this is the only one that was ever immortalized in a poem by one of the most famous Roman poets of all time. His name's Martial. This is a story that is echoed through the ages as, I'm pretty sure, mostly filled with serendipity. That's the crux of it, right? So it all starts with Vespasian spending 10 years of his reign trying to build the Colosseum in time for him to see it before he dies, because he's an old man when he takes over the throne, and obviously you don't get younger, do you? No. He's not Benjamin Button, he's just an ordinary man. So he gets older. As a result, he realizes that time is finite. Really smart emperor. So he starts getting it built a lot faster, which means that they have to get a lot more slaves. So the Romans start provoking people on the frontier, because they're at that stage it's the center of the golden age of the Roman Empire. So they're just absolute boss.
Peaking.
200 years pinger out, you know? They're about halfway through that. So they're at the Thracian border, capturing all of these just men that they find and dragging them back to the pit, as they call it, which is about 2 days outside of Rome, is the quarry that they're using to get all of the stone to make the Colosseum. One of them is called Verus. Verus thought that he was going to die, because that's what happened in the pit. It was essentially a gulag. You were worked until you were dead. And there was an old saying, and it's saying, "There's no old bones in the pit." Meaning that most people at max live 2 years.
Wow.
He was there for about 10 months. He was withering away. And then at that point, somebody called can't remember the name, so I'm just going to keep going, but it's the people that own gladiatorial schools. Some of the richest people in Rome. They were kind of like oil tycoons almost. They had crazy amounts of money. And this was a former gladiator that had won his freedom and started his own gladiatorial school. So he was looking for new talent. And he goes to the pit and picks out 5 or 6 different gladiators. Verus is not one of them, and he's freaking out because he knows he's going to die in the pit, but he has a very small chance of freedom if he becomes a gladiator. So he just punches the biggest guy that they didn't bring and starts a full-on brawl, and then they start fighting, obviously to get this guy's attention. His name was Darius, I believe, if I'm just checking my notes right. And Drusus, that's right, Drusus.
Yeah, also a Persian king.
He got tired of ruling that and went for the much more modest approach of just basically becoming like a soccer coach owner. The old version of that. Replaced his purple robes for a footy jersey. So he noticed them and goes, "These two as well," takes them back to the gladiatorial school. So he's taken out another guy called Priscus. So Priscus and Verus are in the same gladiatorial school. Priscus is very grateful in the long run, because he's a bit thick, Priscus, but he finally gets it, and he's just like, my friend, thank you so much. You know, and they form a very tight bond. They start rising through the ranks very quickly. They actually are very talented fighters, both of them. Verus is very quick, Priscus is extremely strong. That's what they're known for. So they start going on display, because in ancient Rome, gladiators were the superstars of the age. As in Verus, even before his really famous match that he has in the Colosseum later, was your Brad Pitt of the day. So very attractive, very rich, noble women used to always bring in these gladiators and just have dinner with them. And that's how they made a lot of their money, is ballers paying to just hang out with them.
Wow.
One of the things that they do when they go there, because they were idiots, they were gladiators, extremely talented fighters. Some of the greatest fighters the world has ever produced are gladiators. We can tell from their training techniques that these were peak form men.
Just very uneducated.
Idiots. Yeah, because they're slaves. Barely could read, most of them, but became extremely wealthy, because every time you won a gladiatorial match, you got about the same salary, not even an Emperor's Colosseum sponsored match, just your average normal nobleman sponsored gladiatorial match. You would get the same wage that a soldier could earn in a year at the frontier, and the frontier soldiers were paid the most, and they get that per match.
Wow.
So they were all out there, and then one of the things that they used to play was arm wrestling in front of the women to woo them, and whoever got the biggest arm wrestle, they'd see that as like an insider tip, and it was kind of like insider trading because there was a lot of gambling, and they go, "Oh yes, we'll just put it on Darius,"
Yeah, it's like Roman pickup, Robbie. It's for you.
And I mean, it'd be great to test you in the old ways of Roman pickup, but we've promised on the pod that we would never ever do any arm wrestling ever again because it's been such a disaster.
So poorly received,
we've gotten rid of the tracks. We've got the cage is out, so we assume.
What?
It's coming down!
Oh my
Cage of mayhem!
Oh,
no, is it a Royal Rumble?
Oh, not
is it
again.
a Royal Rumble?
I think it is.
Oh no, Robbie, you're gonna have to take some of your energy juice.
Oh, no, I'm
we
gonna
want you to
drink
win
this.
this one.
Drink it
It is
down.
your episode after all, mate. Let's see if you win the Royal Rumble
right, Robbie,
of
let's
arm
do this.
wrestling. Get ready, everyone. You're about to hear the most exciting thing you could possibly hear on audio, which is somebody that is a very unaudible sound.
3,
Here we
2, 1, go!
All right. Currently fighting. You got nothing. You got nothing. Varys is taking you down, son.
That's it. That's it.
It's all over.
Oh, dearie me.
Now that arm wrestle is important for the rest of the story. Because I should have mentioned this before.
Yes.
This instance,
Who was I?
You were Varys.
I was Varys, okay.
You were
Okay.
Varys.
The Brad Pitt.
Right.
And I was Prusus. And Prusus won the favour, because he won that round, won the favour of a very rich noble woman and married her. She was a widow of a nobleman, but he died in war. So they got married. As a result, they were a few weeks later, Varys and Prusus are fighting each other in front of all the noblemen at a party for the emperor. It's not even in front of a crowd. It's just a rich person's party, and somebody's going to die out of the two.
Oh my god.
That's the way it rolls.
So casual.
In high
yeah.
Rome, yeah. And it was just like, it would just be like going like, "Hey, you want to come and watch the game?" It'd be like that kind of invite, right? So Prusus lost. The noblewoman is just absolutely shattered. Like he's newlywed, and then the emperor's just like, "Kill him," even though he knows that she's married to him.
Yeah.
And so Varys just feels awful because it's his best friend, and his wife is sitting there being like, "No!" And he has to do it. And so he's completely shaken, and everybody else there is like, "Marvellous, well done, Varys."
Yeah.
Take him out. And so he promises Prus's now widow, "Look, you can have all of my winnings. I'm going to give you a small portion of my winnings forever because I feel awful about this. But also, I'm going to look after you for the rest of your life." Amazingly, what happens, a few weeks later, there is the Great Fire of 80 AD. She is in the centre of the suburb that caught light originally, and he can see it from the gladiatorial academy, and they're not allowed to leave because they're slaves. But he gets on a horse, he punches a guard, gets on his horse, and he's like, "I'll be back later," and rides down, saves her, drags her out of the smoking suburb while she's smoke damaged, and saves her life, and says to her, like, "I told you I'd always be there for you." And then rides back into the academy,
That's
ready
awesome.
to die again. Him and Priscus, his best friend from before, he comes back, realizes that all of his possessions are gone, because at this point in the academy, if you'd won about 2 rounds, you were able to upgrade to what is their penthouse accommodation. Really, really luxurious pads. You were able to have sex with women. There was all these perks to winning.
Yeah.
But he left because they're slaves. Someone else bought them because they're kind of like the Ronaldos of the day. They're just getting swapped by different soccer teams all the time.
Yeah, right.
And they're worth so much money. So they paid him absolute mint for Priscus. Around comes the Colosseum, finally built. 100 days of games are announced. They were saying there was so much blood that by midday each day for those 100 days, they had to leave. Everyone had to. It was scheduled in to start at 9 a.m. and finish at sundown. I think at 6 p.m. They'd have to leave halfway through the middle of the day for 2 hours, and then guards and slaves would have to come in and clean all of the
Sweep
blood
it all
out.
away.
That was knee deep knee-deep by lunchtime. That's how
Jesus Christ.
gruesome these games were. It was extravagant as, because it was the peak of the empire, so much money in it. The emperor had just opened it. It was Titus. He was a brand new emperor. The fire of Rome happened, so everyone was saying, the gods don't like the new emperor. They don't like him. And so he had to prove that they did.
Yes, they do.
So he just made the most extravagant sport. And the day that they're in, I think it was the third day, Verus winds up to the Colosseum. Everything's going badly. At the beginning of the day, the lions won't eat the slaves because obviously the lions are freaked out with 50,000 people standing there being like, eat them! Eat the prisoners! Yeah. And they're just from Africa.
And
so
they're
just
lions,
going, what the hell? And so they're cowering in the corner, so everyone goes, boo!
Yeah.
Then they bring out the beast tamer, because it's the beast tamer's fault if that happens, and then the emperor puts his thumbs down, and then the beast tamer gets killed for punishment for not training the lions to eat in front of 50,000 people.
Fair enough, I suppose. Yeah.
Tough but fair.
Yeah.
He realizes, crap, I really need a win today. All the gladiators know, because most of the time, gladiators have a 90% chance of survival. It's a total myth that there's always somebody that has to die. It was really only for really special baller events that someone had to die.
Yeah.
Most of the time, gladiators were extremely expensive to train. As soon as they were a celebrity, they were even more expensive.
And you wouldn't want to
most
kill them.
noblemen, you had to pay the gladiator school owner the full amount if they died. So most of the time, everyone would be going, kill him! Kill him! But the nobleman would go, no, I think he should leave. He fought pretty courageously.
Oh, damn it. Come on.
But because this was a special occasion, Titus was sparing no expense.
Yeah, right.
Every gladiator that went in, somebody definitely had to die. So he walks in, doesn't know who he's fighting. The other end of the Colosseum opens. It's Priscus, his best friend. How crazy is that?
I love how passionate you are, John. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
What's there not to be passionate about? It's a great story. So they're in the center. They know that one of them is going to die. They're both extremely famous at this point. The biggest gladiators in the world. So they're the biggest celebrities on Earth, apart from the Emperor. Everybody in the Roman Empire, even in the far-off regions, would know the names Verus and Priscus.
Yeah, wow.
They're battling it out on the third day. There was something about 3 that was magical, I don't know. Yeah. So they're fighting. It's the only gladiatorial match that we know of in its entire 800-year history that was completely recorded from beginning to end. So we know exactly the moves, the jabs, what happened. Eventually, in the fight, they're both lightly armed. Both of them just have a shield and a sword, a gladius, and they're both dueling it out. Priscus is the first to draw blood. He cuts Verus's right hamstring. He's limping around fighting Priscus, and then he cuts his left arm, which is his shield arm.
Verus
so he
cuffed.
drops it. Yep. And then the ref, because there was rules in gladiatorial matches, everyone thinks it was just this man-on-man thing, but there was always a ref there going, okay, he's dropped his shield, you have to drop your shield as well. So they're fighting with swords. Then Verus shoots Priscus's sword out of his hand. Priscus, limping with just his right arm and no swords at all, punches his sword out of his hand. He goes in for a stab, and then he darts and punches it out, and he goes, ah! And drops his hand. Then both of them are just like, that's how it's gonna play, huh? They put on knuckle dusters and start beating the shit out of each other with knuckle dusters, even with Priscus's hand that is almost unusable because it's been slashed from the top. He's got a knuckle duster fighting for his life. Knowing that they've got the best access to doctors if they win, so he's thinking like it's probably salvageable, right? But they're both losing heaps of blood. Everybody, this is one of the first times obviously because the Colosseum just opened, but in the entire history, there's very few moments where the audience is silent. But everyone is. They're completely glued, and they're all looking at the Emperor to see what he does.
Yeah, right.
And so the Emperor realizes these guys can't die. They're so loved. Everybody doesn't want these people to die.
Yeah.
So he gets up and says, you both get your freedom. It's the only time in its entire history that occurs. They both win. they're like obviously completely just shrouded in all the gifts that you can possibly give them. So the wooden sword of freedom, manumitted on the spot, which is when you free a slave, and then the slave owner comes in. So their old slave owner was Drusus, and so he comes in, this old fighter, and just looks at them and is like, "You magnificent bastards," and slaps them on the face. That's how you win your freedom in Rome. You get slapped by a slave owner, and then you
awesome.
leave. Yeah. So they're leaving out, shrouded in women and jewels, extremely wealthy. Verus is known as a family man. That the reason why he became a gladiator in the first place was he wasn't thinking, "Oh, I'm going to become rich and famous," or "I just want my freedom." He just wanted to see his family. So he's not even waving at this point. He's just walking out with a limped foot, and then he just limps all the way back to Thrace. Doesn't even buy a horse. Doesn't even buy a horse.
That sounds a bit mythological to me.
Doesn't matter. Great story.
That's awesome.
Limping back to his family that thought that he's gone forever, and then he's just like, "I'm home. Have you got any aloe vera?"
Just the whole way through cornfields, just
The ending
brushing,
of 12 Years a Slave. I do apologise for my
yes.
absence these past several years.
You have nothing to apologize.
Oh, Solomon Bow.
Yeah. I will remain foolhardy. What is it? Until freedom is opportune.
Yep.
Yeah. That,
All right. Well, that's
basically
not part of the history.
American
but
slavery,
Sure.
yeah.
what other lines do you know
From 12 Years a Slave.
from films?
Yeah, that's
So
Continuously
riffing
linked to
here,
this. Yeah.
Jordan, how did-
Mama always did life with like a box of chocolates. We're already down that way.
Yeah.
It's just,
Keep
it's
it
just
going.
popular movie phrases now.
All right.
Bing bang walla walla bing bang was also said.
the force is strong within this one.
It's all in.
Okay, Robbie,
Jesus.
goosebumps.
Can I
We
just
all want
quickly
to-
ask? How do we know like the specifics of that story? Like, as you say they are.
Most documented. Okay, first of all, if there's going to be anything that's accurate about ancient Rome, it's going to be for all of the 1st century AD. That was when we have the most sources from historians, the most poets.
They're at peak performance. And
Okay.
also Marshall wrote it all down, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's probably it's poetry.
All right.
He's got poetic license.
Still, cool stories. So,
Very cool story. Thank you.
speaking of cool stories, goosebumps.
Guess what's coming back, guys? Something that I wasn't the
And-
biggest fan of, but Matt Tarrant did gift us this, and we're very appreciative of it. And he wrote a lovely message, which I'll post on the Instagram in the front. He said, "To Tom, your Wizard Emporium sucks. Get fucked. Kind regards, Matt Tarrant." He's done a lovely signature there.
Yeah, fuck
isn't
yourself,
that-
Matt. Yeah.
Semi-lovely from a man that we have been nothing but cruel to and gives us money on Patreon. What's your excuse?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. The celebrity illusionist.
Yes.
Check him out,
Matt
guys.
Tarrant, check him out.
Very quickly gone from dark wizard to celebrity illusionist.
Yeah,
and even
yeah.
though he gives us $50 a month, it's not because of that. It's because he gave us a Goosebumps book. So if we hate you, that's the way to win us over. Find out our address. We're not going to tell you. We just told Matt Tarrant because he gives us money. But, do it.
Yeah, if you want to send anything in little packages to FBI, we'll probably receive them. So
Yeah. So I
And
feel
we
obligated
might
to do
like
this.
them, but if we don't, we'll be very truthful.
We also got a nice little bookmark from Matt, so thank you, Matt. All right, Robbie, let's hear it. It's a magic-related goosebump.
Yeah, so this one is called Under the Magician's Spell. Okay? So. You flatten yourself against the wall. You listen hard for a noise. Any noise. Will you be able to make your escape? The only sound you hear is your own raspy breathing. You slowly peer around the corner. All clear. It's now or never, you murmur. You take a deep breath and sprint toward freedom. Bang! The door slams behind you as you fling yourself onto the lawn. Made it! You cheer. But you know there's no time to celebrate. You glance around. So far, so good. You race around the side of the house and come to a dead stop. There they are, standing right by your bicycle, your mother and your little sister Joni. Hi, sweetie, your mother greets you. Where are you off to in such a hurry? Your stomach sinks to your toes. You are so close to escape. Now you know what's coming. I'm meeting Sid at the mall, you mumble to your mum. That sounds like fun, dear. I'm sure Joni would like to go too. Ma, you wail. Joni is such a pain. She gets into everything. I have to watch her every second. Joni will behave, won't you, cutie? Your mother turns to Joni and kisses her cheek. Joni nods sweetly. She gives you a big fake smile. Goodbye fun, you think. Your bratty 9-year-old sister always gets you into trouble. She has to touch everything she sees. Break it or take it seems to be Joni's motto, but she's so disgustingly cute, no one ever seems to get mad at her. Grown-ups love her brown curls and bright blue eyes. Look, Joni wants to hold your hand, your mother gushes. Isn't that cute? You shake off Joni's hand. Once your mother is out of sight, you know Joni will drop her cutie pie routine. Listen up, Joni, you tell her. I'm in charge, so hurry up and grab your bike. I'm already late. I have to get my diary first, Joni says. That stupid diary. Joni never goes anywhere without it. You two have fun, your mother tells you. Then she follows Joni into the house. Joni, you holler. I'm leaving now. You jump on your bike and pedal as fast as you can. Hopefully none of your friends will spot you riding to the mall with your little sister. Oh, wee. You glance back and see that Joni is pedaling hard to keep up with you. When you reach the mall, you and Joni lock your bikes in the rack. Don't wander off, you instruct Joni. Who? Me? She asks super sweetly.
Really good interlude, I've got to say.
Yeah, I know.
There is an extremely nerdy DJ who you can tell is shit.
In the other studio right now. Just like, so Robbie's in this studio reading Goosebumps, and such a contrast. About a metre away from us, dividing us, is this soundproof glass wall, is this DJ just like ripping it, while some like this bald dude with a big beard is just like, yeah man, nice. FBI.
Anything goes.
Awesome. You roll your eyes at Joni's sickly sweet act. You rush through the mall to meet your friend Sid. You spot him pacing in front of the Comic Connection. Sid is wearing a blue jacket that is a little too small for his chubby frame. He runs a hand through his spiky blonde hair. Where were you? He demands as you hurry over to him. My mum made me bring Joni, you explain. Really? Sid raises an eyebrow. Then where is the little princess? Oh no. Did you lose Joni already? Sorry. God, this is a long start.
It is. You're really rushing through it as well.
Well, I don't want to... Yeah,
go on.
Jesus Christ, I didn't realise that this was quite so lengthy. Joni...
You talking about it isn't going to finish it, is it?
Joni has already disappeared. Too bad you can't just let her stay lost. You glance around the mall. There she is, you say, pointing across the courtyard. Joni stands frozen in front of a shop window as if she were in a trance. For a moment, you could swear her feet are floating inches off the floor. Can't be, you tell yourself. You blink and look again. No, her feet are still on the ground. The magic shop, you read the store's sign aloud. She's going in, Sid warns. Come on, you cry. We've got to get her out of there. That store won't know what hit it. You and Sid follow Joni into the magic shop. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to adjust to the dim light. Sid gives a little gasp beside you. Wow, you murmur. The shop is filled from floor to ceiling with magic tricks. Of course, Joni is touching every single one. You shake your head as you watch her fiddling with a miniature guillotine, but then she sticks her finger into place under the tiny blade. Joni, don't! You shout. Before you can stop her, she pulls the string. The blade drops right through her finger.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, what could that mean? Danger? Joni, don't move. You race to her side. Your mum will be furious if you allow Joni to chop off her bloody finger. You force yourself to look down at your sister's hand. You hope you'll be able to stand the sight of all that blood. Joni slowly pulls her hand from the guillotine. She grins up at you, waving all 5 fingers.
Oh, that's not scary.
But these options might entice you.
Uh-huh.
Do you strangle Joni now? Turn to page 25. Or do you use every ounce of strength and try to ignore your little sister's tricks?
Oh my god.
Turn to
Stein's
page
having a little gag with us?
Yeah, he's really jumping in the deep end there, isn't he?
Alright, so do you strangle her or do you
I can imagine a lot of 20-year-old Aspergics reading that going, strangle her? That sounds a little bit too extreme. I don't know if I want to read this book anymore.
So yeah, whatever you reckon, do that in the Facebook comments or on the Instagram or wherever.
Yes.
All right.
Now it's time for Tom's Hogwarts re-education, because he didn't finish his time there, did you, Tom? You've been a naughty little wizard, haven't you? So tell them about that.
Yeah, in a second, but first of all, I've got to say, this whole podcast, doesn't it feel like Robbie is an 8-year-old girl and you are a soft toy rabbit and I'm a little rag doll and we're having tea with you?
Yeah, it's probably his like dream pod, like his little fantasy pod. And he's getting quicker as well. You can tell like his words are getting quicker and quicker the more mother he drinks. All right, so this... all right.
The groan says it all. Tom definitely does not want to do this. However, he didn't graduate high school, we found out, as Ben Zeri handed us a letter from Hogwarts itself, no other. We're all here. We've all got peepers. We can definitely verify that the letter was indeed magical. It may have looked like it was poorly Xeroxed and out of the scrap bin at FBI, but that's just a magical illusion for muggles. Tom saw what it was, because he's not a muggle, apparently.
Yep, so today I'm going to teach you all about aromatherapy.
As a result,
so yeah,
of being a non-muggle, he is using one of the most muggle alternative medicines there is, but apparently you need to know that in Hogwarts to become a fully fledged wizard and work at Gringotts. It's really important to smell nice.
Keyword is alternative there. So this is like not at all... Yeah, so it's not a real medicine, but it's something a lot of people are really into.
The eyebrows have been raised.
So it's just using smell and water immersion, which a lot of people don't know about, but like as being part of aromatherapy, but dunking your head in water. But yeah, it's using smells and things to try and get rid of viruses or bacterial infections and things like that. But there's no actual... Yeah, the evidence is very poor to show that it does anything at all.
And your rendition of this is very competent, seeing as most of the time you usually just look up the Wikipedia page 5 minutes before we start. But it looks like today you started 7.5 minutes before.
Today is no different, Jordan. It's really just summarising the bottom part of the Wikipedia
getting better at talking out of your ass. Right.
Yeah.
You're one of those kids that walks in and says, I didn't even study C-.
Yeah. Well, did that convince you that I knew about it?
Well, I suppose, for a brief second, yeah, sure.
Being an aromatherapy teacher that he is today, seeing as this is Robbie's podcast, he will be determining whether or not you pass and get one step closer to your degree from Hogwarts.
So do you want me to quickly do aromatherapy on you, Robbie?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll be really quick. All right.
Okay.
Tom's walking around the studio to Robbie, and he has approached. For anybody who was wondering.
What?
Someone did this on me once when I was getting a haircut, so I'm just trying to like...
Okay, so he's currently parting Robbie's extremely hateable hair, which is getting more and more hateable by the day. He never gets a haircut.
So you're just going to massage the temples there. Pick the mother up.
How's this aroma?
And just like smell that.
You want me to smell the mother?
Yeah.
My God.
And if you just kind of like loosen...
It's really like... it's like a tree of life in Emu Plains, getting you to smell mother. How's it like smelling inside your womb, huh? Yeah, it smells like guarana in there. Welcome to Emu Plains.
I don't know. Look,
How did that convince you?
Look, the temple rub it was fine, but in terms of like what that actually was supposed to be, which is aromatherapy, right?
Well, I didn't have any strong smelling things ready for me, but the mother was a good enough substitute.
Look, I'm not.
It was an extremely nervous prac.
I'm not.
Yeah. I'm more of a theory guy when it comes to these things.
Jordan, what do you reckon?
I've got to say, full marks for theory this week.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's really passed on that.
Yeah.
In terms of the prac, he gave it a go, right?
Yeah, I tried
I'm
something.
going to have to give him a high credit.
Okay.
If it were up to me, however, you're the teacher.
It is Robbie's pod, though. What do you reckon?
I'm just a chum in the back of the class saying, give him a C-. Can we play dodgeball?
I'll give you a credit on that.
Yeah.
You've passed that. Good, go on you,
Thank
mate.
you. Well,
nice.
yep.
That's amazing. So at the moment, you're running at about a
Yeah.
60 mark average. No, sorry, you're running at way lower than that. I forgot that Yaya gave you a 7 out of 100, but apparently in her class, that's a solid pass.
I don't think she understood that yet. Okay.
Can I just quickly ask? You know those Nurofen? I think it's those smelling. You know, you can put those
Like Vicks Vapor Rubs?
Vicks Vapor. Yeah, those. Is that aromatherapy? Or is
No, I don't think that is actually aromatherapy. I think that does clean, like
That
clear
actually
out your
has-
sinuses and things. Aromatherapy is more
Really,
like
really encouraging to know that the teacher is asking a student.
I think it's more like things like, you know, essence of, you know, some root or something, and that it's just bullshit. The whole thing's crap.
Okay, well, let's not fail you. I don't want to have to fail you. Let's leave that there.
It
Talk
feels
a lot
nice.
of shit now that you got your mark, don't you?
Yeah.
But nothing but smiles
I'm a
coming
credit
in.
student. Yeah.
Now you're kidding out.
Okay, now,
All right,
Tom.
If Snape saw you, he'd give you a detention.
All right, now, guys. can
Robbie,
we just
you would love this next segment, wouldn't you? This is a big one for
Can
you.
we just have a little bit of silence? Meme brain.
Insane in the meme. That was too much of a delay there.
We practiced that 50 times.
Should we do it one more?
40 of those times.
All right, once more.
Robbie couldn't remember that he had to say meme brain himself and was waiting for the track to say brain. He thought he just had to say meme, and he's in control of the buttons.
All right,
Never been more frustrated with you, like how you cannot understand this. But yeah, go on.
All right, can we, one more time.
It's your pod.
Meme brain.
Insane in the meme. Yeah, nice.
Is that fine?
Bit more of a pause would have been
Damn
nice.
it.
But
Yeah, that was a
very
bit too
close.
quick,
Yeah.
that one. Damn it.
Anyway, what's the segment?
Yeah, so anyway, this is about memes.
Senior meme.
Senor Meme is my other alias. So yeah, I basically run the Friendlyjordies
Two
Instagram.
titles.
Follow that. It's at Friendlyjordies. It's pretty cool, pretty dank stuff going on there. And I don't know. Essentially, I suppose this segment is just kind of like me explaining maybe a meme that didn't go down too well in the community.
It's Robbie giving himself the opportunity to
Justify why he put up a meme that didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he's a very strong advocate for, like, he considers himself an expert at memes.
I wouldn't say expert. I'd say avid
know.
fan. Avid.
However, Robbie, you do call yourself senior meme. You do consider yourself at least a Spanish expert.
So basically,
So why don't you explain the meme that you posted, and then explain what it means, and then explain why it's funny.
So a lot of challenges here.
Okay,
If you put
so
up
step
more than
one,
you
what
can
is
chew,
it?
all right.
You should probably be drinking your mother can before. Take a
Jesus.
big swig.
You've got a
So we
second
can get
mother
onto
to go.
can two, baby.
Look, I really don't need that second one. So basically, I don't know. The other day, I posted one in the morning. It was not mine, admittedly. It was somebody else's. It was this particular type of meme called an where you sort of throw two disparate things together and sort of see what comes
Right.
up. Right.
To me, an is an excuse for a bad meme. If
Me
it doesn't
too.
work, you just say, I'm not trying to do a meme. I'm trying to do an
Yeah,
I think that there are definitely examples of shitty oms in that way. I very much can see
so it
where you're
seems to
sort
be
of
like
there.
kind of the deeper you get into this meme world, you start to get introduced to a thing called an for those who
I'm still
unaware.
sort of unaware of like what it is fully, but anyway, so this is an example of an where it's kind of like it's basically it's a photo of you know how people have those pictures on their wall, which is like an open window that shows a a nice kind of beach or something like that, kind of an idyllic location, right?
Yeah. Sounds lovely.
So this is a picture where the background, of the
when you're not looking through the window.
yes, is a lovely ocean, right? A beautiful looking ocean. There's
abstract.
I know. So look, and then you look in the middle there, and there's a window that's open, and it shows a black and white. What are they called?
Graveyard. Yeah.
So
Holy crap. Play school just got real.
Yeah. Inversions.
So it's a little.
My childhood.
So it's a little little tingle there of like, oh, what's happening there? A little bit of inversion.
So this is my problem with these is that I just don't think they're funny.
You always got a problem.
Yeah, I'm always serious and angry about things.
Do you know what? In terms of humor, this one isn't on the this one's lower on the spectrum in terms of humor. But I look, To be honest, I just sort of like the image, really. And then
Okay, that's great.
yeah, no,
Friendlyjordies is about gags,
all
right?
right. Now listen up.
And I really want to emphasize the word gags.
He's got to post things that you like.
Look, listen up.
You have a job here, Robbie.
Yeah, no.
We pay you $dollars a week to pretty much post 3 memes a day.
No,
and
I
you're
do
getting to the
4.
point where you just, okay, fine. The point is, if we really honed this down, you're probably on one of the highest paying jobs on the planet.
Just-
right? It's really one of those cases of like, oh, Bill Gates just dropped $1,000. Does he pick it up or not? You're kind of like in a per work ratio, you're a Bill Gates of the world.
Yeah.
Look,
And you're
if
posting,
any other
you're
job,
not worth your money, really.
in any other job, if the boss was walking around and saw their employee uploading a meme, they'd lose their job.
Hey, are you posting up memes?
Yeah.
Good.
Why isn't it
Employee
funny?
of the month.
Yeah.
Look, this isn't my strongest work. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to justify slightly what was a pretty shit upload, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The comment underneath was comfort zone, and then you're greater than the comfort zone. What I was trying to go for there, right, was it's a morning post. You're gonna want to get jazzed for the day. This is kind of a slight, pretty rubbish
Makes you
inversion
think,
of
yeah.
it. Makes you think for about a millisecond.
Give
And
us
so
the
fact that it's kind of vapid in that way, but it also seems quite deep. I don't know, the way that they don't really match up to me was quite appealing.
Tell us the
Love
comment.
that. Have you noticed that Robbie's mindset has come crashing down all around him as he suddenly realised, holy crap, this is a shit meme. No wonder it didn't get any posts.
No, look, I knew when I uploaded, I'm like, this isn't going to be the biggest thing out. This is no Yilmaz, Will Smith shit, right? This is
Will Smith. Read the comment you got for it.
yeah, nice meme at Friendlyjordies. So cheers. All right. Listen to his name. Nickel back that ass up.
Now that's a gag. Yeah.
Hey, why don't you go? Yeah, look, I wasn't. I mean, it seems very facetious, so I just sort of left that. But
As a result, I know that this is your podcast, Robbie, but I would really like to suggest that we upload as a little 15-second Instagram clip. Do these things actually exist, or are they just in the cartoons that you light up a cigar and it explodes in your face? Just to teach you what a gag is.
Yeah, whenever a meme does really poorly, you need to upload that 15-second thing of a cigar exploding in your face.
And everyone
you
needs
cracking
to
an egg
like
on your
it.
face. Yeah.
well, look, we need
As
to.
punishment, you should do that. And it's up to you whether or not you do. What do you say, Robbie?
Come on, Robbie.
Drink your meme and talk at the same time.
Drink your memes. Drink down your memes. Yeah, look, I don't know what I'm agreeing to. There, I may as well say no, right? Like, why?
Just say yes, and then we'll do it. Talk about it later.
maybe.
All right.
We'll talk about it later.
Ooh, to be continued? Question mark? Not necessary. It's definitely going to be to be continued.
Trey BN, Robbie, let's do it.
Oh, wait.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
Didn't you want that for that bit?
Yeah, we did. We set it up perfectly for you. You just really missed your cue.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, damn it. Okay. All right. So
It's too much for one man, isn't it? Pushing buttons and also
Do you need an
announcing
assistant,
what
Robbie?
happens next.
running the thing. Okay.
He is Gerald Ford's reincarnation. He can't chew gum and walk at the same time.
It just can't be done.
Okay, guys. Trey BN with Robbie. Now, I've
Yay,
had
it's back.
Look, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Some people really don't want this.
There seems to be one woman who I'm pretty sure lives in Queensland that loves Trebien with Robbie.
She
Probably because she's learning French at school, is bad at it, and then she can just write that down as the answer for everything, and hopefully one of them is right.
Yeah, half a mark out of 20. So in this segment, Robbie will give us a food that he loves, and we'll get to have a little taste. And he'll explain to us.
I can't believe this segment is back, and it's so unappetizing watching it as well, because at the moment he is cutting cookie dough, the same staple food of depressed spinsters is what he's trying to feed us. Robbie has the diet
God.
of Bridget Jones's Diary.
I don't want...
And it is a very cheap cookie brand as well.
So it's cookie dough, just raw cookie dough. So you know those
Yep.
sausages that you can get.
Also, the M&M minis are cracked and the colour is all through it, so it's not your nice light brown colour, it's this soggy green.
Like a vomit colour.
It's the same colour that you put on cigarette packets to discourage you from smoking them. And this is Robbie's Trebian. This is what he thinks is great.
It doesn't look the best, but it really...
Looks awful.
It doesn't taste the best either. This does not taste the best.
Yeah, tastes awful.
Jordan, I reckon you might just need to have another think there for a second. Yeah, what do you reckon now? Would you say that's très bien?
Trebi not.
No, wait. Not très bien from Jordan. Monty. What do you reckon? Was that
Trebi in or Trebi not?
Yeah, maybe not. I'm sorry, it tastes better than it looks, but it looks very bad.
It does taste better.
And there is no Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sound effect for Tom.
Yeah. Robbie, this is getting worse and worse.
What do you mean?
Really, we're never doing Trebian again. Like, this has to be the
That
last
was
time.
just terrible.
I know it's your pod, but next week it won't be, and it will never be again.
We'll see what they say in the comments section, because people might...
They will not come to rescue you this time.
Yeah,
It's just bad audio. Okay.
theatre of the mind.
All right. Next one, Robbie. Your final segment for the day. This one better be good. What is it?
This one is called A Gentleman Never Tells.
Holy
I didn't finish
No.
it last time.
You
so-
said it would be...
No, we're not doing this.
No, but I didn't,
Robbie, it's gone too far.
I didn't finish it.
You've done this segment before.
I know
You've
a
done
lot of
it
people
before.
thought that we were joking when we fired Robbie before, but there was a lot of relief in the room that we didn't have to do this shit again.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do this. I don't want to put the people through this.
That's the main thing. Doing it again, 6 out of 8 of these segments we've done before. This is your pod. How unoriginal is it?
We've done. What do you mean?
Yeah, you chose
New
it.
content.
You know what? People like, it's back to our roots, right? Like people, the Jordan Rome, the
Yeah,
Goosebumps,
all right, Robbie.
and a bunch of other things. Look, I don't know. I know it's been a bit of it. I mean, it's been a bit of a shambles, but
All right, how about this?
a fun shambles.
So, what do you want to be? Golden Dragon or Watchman? What do you prefer out of those?
Golden Dragon's got a better ring, doesn't it?
It's a lot like giving a scout a little campfire badge and then taking it away from him. No, my identity.
Yeah, as if like we can take that from you. It's like when we
And
took
we
the
have.
soul. Yeah.
Now drink up, Watchman.
All right, so Robbie, how about this? We don't do Your Gentleman Never Tells, and you can be the Golden Dragon. What do you reckon?
Guys, that was episode 34.
He wants it that bad.
Look at him flying around the room to the sound of Katy Perry, you majestic reptile.
Thanks so much to
Phoenix is
FBI. Thanks to Jordan. Thanks to Tom.
Pleasure as always. See you next week.
See ya.
This week wasn't a pleasure, it was really painful.